Hello, good evening and welcome to All About Sport. I'm Louise O'Reilly. First of all, I would like to start off by congratulating Virginia College, who won the All-Ireland and All-Ireland basketball title in the National Basketball Arena in Tala last night. And also we wish the Cavan under-21s good luck tonight as they defend their Ulster under-21 title against Monaghan. But joining me on the show tonight, I have the wonderful Micky Brennan, who is back with us again to tell us what has been happening with county and club football here in Cavan. So Micky, you're welcome back.
Cheers, Louise.
You've got all the info for us, everything that we've been waiting to hear, and we've had a busy few weeks since we had you last in on the show.
That's right, yeah. There's been 2 rounds in the club football in Cavan, in league football, and we've had 3 Cavan games as well.
We've lots to get through tonight.
So
I hope you are ready to tune in and listen to this. So we would start maybe with we'll start with the club football tonight. So we'll maybe start off with that. So
no problem.
Division 1.
We'll start off with Division 1A, Louise. There's, as I said, there's been 2 rounds of league football, so there's a lot to get through. In round 2, Division 1A, Lavey 15 points, Mullahorn 12 points, a 3-point win there for Lavey. Lacken 3 points, Rammer 3-14. That was a very high scoring game for Rammer. Lacken, I don't know what's happened with them this year, but you know, that's a bad return, 3 points in a game. So I'm sure Jason Riley will be looking to put things right there. Okay, Castlerahan 1-9, Kingscourt 11 points, and Den 1-11, Cucullins 2-7. Round 3 of the Division 1A, Cucullins 1-4, Lacken 6 points. Again, another loss, another loss there for Lacken. Mullahorn 2-4, Castlerahan 5 points. Cavan Gaels 9 points, Kingscourt 1-5, Rammer 1-10, and Lavey 1-8. Ballinya 11 points, Den 4 points. Now, after 3 rounds of the league, that leaves Rammer on 6 points, 3 wins out of 3. Ballinya are in second place with 2 wins out of 2. They have another game to play to catch up on Rammer, and then leaves Lacken on bottom. With,
right.
They've
won't be happy with that.
They've played 3 and lost 3. They won't be happy about that at all. I know that the first game they were missing a couple of the Crows, Finbar Riley and Raymond Galligan, so I don't know if they're still missing those lads, but you know, they'll have to do something quick smart to try and get back.
Exactly.
We'll continue on then. Division 1B, round 2 of the league. Ballyhaise 9 points, Coothill 2-8. That was a 5-point win for Coothill. Belturbet 2-8, Drumgoon 4 goals and 5 points. That was a 3-point win for Drumgoon. There was a lot of goals scored in that. It was a high-scoring goals game there for both sides, 6 goals in that game. Drumlane 6 points, Red Hills 2-11. Red Hills going very strong, another win for them.
Yeah, not good for Drumlane then.
No, not good for Drumlane, but they had won the first day against Killigary, as we said. So you know, they're okay at the minute. Gowna 1-10 and Killigary 7 points. Then in round 3 of Division 1B, Ballyhaise 8 points, Drumalee 1-11. Great win for Drumalee, got us off the mark.
Just have to get that in there. Sorry, that was a great win for who again?
Drumalee,
After the last game,
absolutely,
you have to highlight that one.
We didn't go too well the first day against Red Hills, but we got back on the road.
Road to recovery.
On the road to recovery against Ballyhaise. Coothill 8 points, Drumgoon 1-9. That was a local derby, and Drumgoon coming out on top by 4 points. Killigary 2-11, Belturbet 6 points. That was that was a shock result. Belturbet to lose by 11 points to Killigary.
The Rorys,
the Rorys losing like with Damien Riley and Owen McGuigan. They've got some great players there. I was very surprised at that result. Crusherlaw 1-14, Drumlane 2-3, and again another loss there for Drumlane. And Red Hills 1-8, Gowna 1-9. A very tight game. 1 point win for.
So Gowna, how are they looking then?
Well, that leaves Gowna.
Unexpected?
No. Gowna are always going to be a tough side to beat. Red Hills are a good side as well. So that was a dogging match. A 1 point win for Gowna. That leaves Gowna on top, 3 wins out of 3, and Red Hills in second with Drumgoon as well. Both sides winning 2 games out of 3. It does leave Belturbet bottom of the table and Ballyhaise and Drumlane just above them. So that looks like a bit of a fight down there at the bottom. It is early days, so still, there's no point in anybody getting carried away with those results.
Exactly.
Division 2, Kilishandra won 6. Division 2, round 2. Kilishandra won 6, Drung 8 points. Ballyborough won 9, Cornafane 12 points. Muncherconnocht won 11 and Lara 10 points. That was a bit of a surprise. We were speaking here actually, just as I mentioned Lara, I want to apologise to everybody from Lara. I did say the last day that they were like an up and down, they were a yo-yo team going up and down from junior championship to intermediate championship, but
they weren't happy with that.
Well, they've only won one junior championship in the whole length of time that I was here. I thought they'd won 3, but that must have been Butler's Bridge.
Okay, you sure about that? You have all the Butler's Bridge.
I am sure about the Butler's Bridge one, yeah.
Okay.
Then round 3 of Division 2, Muncherconnocht 2-9, Cavan Gales 1-9. That was another shock result there. Cavan Gales' second team would usually be a very strong team, and that's not to take away from Muncherconnocht, but I just thought that Cavan Gales would win that one. Cornafane 5 points, Killincare 1-5, a low scoring game. Killincare coming out on top by a goal. Yeah. Ballyborough 9 points, Kilishandra 1-14, and St Mary's Swanland Bar 1-8, Mount Nugent 8 points. That leaves the league looking like this. Kilishandra have 2 wins out of 2 and Muncherconnocht have 2 wins out of 2, so they're both on top. The bottom of the table is Lara. Again, it's a bit of a shock after winning the junior championship last year. I thought they'd kick on, but again, it is early days. And Drung and Mount Nugent are all on 0 points there as well.
So what kind of shockers, as you're saying, Lara is probably one, and
Lara, actually Drung as well, being on the bottom. Drung usually start off well in the league. They usually, that's usually where they do most of their work is at the start of the year. They get their points on the board. So I'm a bit surprised now at Drung.
And I must apologise to anyone from Drung who was watching the last night. I did make a comment about their football field, and actually it was the wrong field I was thinking of, and I'm not going to say where I was thinking, but it's somewhere I played football once upon a time, but it wasn't Drung, so I do apologise for that comment. It's a wonderful field to play in.
Fantastic football pitch, a lovely surface in the Drung football pitch. We'll move on from there.
Yeah, next.
So Division 3 results for round 2. Arva won 13, Templeport 3 points. Ballymacue won 16, Kildallan 3-4. Kill won 10, Butler's Bridge 10 points. Mahara 3 points, Shercock 3-15. Shannon Gales 3-16, Curla 1-6. Round 3 of Division 3. Division 3. Knockbride 2-16, Mahara 1-7. Curla 3-3, Ballymacue 2-15, Kildallan 9 points, and Arva 9 points. A draw match there. Well, all those results mean that Ballymacue are on top with 5 points, 2 wins and a draw, and then on the bottom you have Curla and Mahara with no wins from 3 games, so 0 points.
So it's kind of hard to call at this point, really, as well. Again,
it is. It's hard to call, but we'll say, like in Division 1A, there, Rammer have started off very well. Yeah. Rammer are a good, strong side. They've got the likes of Anton Riley there playing, Jack Brady. Ronan Keaton is back. He scored the winning goal. What proved to be the winning goal last week against Slavi, and they're on top of the table with 3 wins out of 3. Ballinar just behind them with 2 wins out of 2, so they're again behind, but Ballinar will be looking very strong at this stage as well. In Division 1B, Gowna have been around a long time. Yeah. They're a Division 1 senior team for a long time now, so they have good. They know what they're at in Division 1B.
There's obviously some clubs there that have a lot of of the under 21 players, a lot of county players as well. So that would obviously.
Well, that's it. Yeah, even Gowna there. Even Gowna have young Highland there. He's playing midfield. He's on the Cavan team. He's on the panel, and Mark McKeever as well. Yeah. And Mark McKeever is he's a great footballer. He's the maestro for Gowna. The rest of the guys are very tough, strong men, and then you've got Mark, and he pulls all the strings. He gets the ball and he makes the he makes things happen for County, you know,
Yeah.
that kind of way.
So
And
key
Niall
player.
Madden there, very, very much so their key player.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, I can see County doing very well in Division 1B, and Rammer doing very well in Division
Yeah.
1A with Ballina as well.
Brilliant. So that's like the whole club.
That's a roundup of the club football for now, yeah.
Been busy, and I suppose we'll come to the county football, and it's been a busy few weeks for Cavan. I suppose we'll kind of continue where we left off, and the team that met next was Cavan versus Meath on 2nd of March, and it was a very successful day against our arch rivals, as you well know, Mickey. You know, they played a great game anyway. They came out on
Yeah, they did indeed. You know, we were after playing Monaghan the week beforehand in Breffni Park, and we had a great result against Monaghan, keeping them to a point in the first half. And little did we think that going down to Navan that we'd do the same again to Meath. And in fairness, you know, Cavan followed up one great result with another by winning in Navan 15 points. Cavan to 1-6 Meath. Again, 1 point in the first half for Meath. Cavan's defence was excellent in the first half, and they
had
stopped.
like 9 scorers or something like that from on the Cavan side.
Yeah, 9 scorers on the Cavan side against Meath, you know, which was fantastic. Now, not taken away from that result at all. Now, that Meath team is in transition as well, just like the Cavan team. But Cavan are probably 2 years ahead of Meath in their transition. There wasn't a whole lot of the big names on the Meath team that day, but anybody who goes to Park Tulchin and keeps Meath to 1 point in the first half, you know, is doing very well.
I suppose the success of the under-21 team is
it's
shining through now.
It is. It's going to take time, you know, because we'll see in the next 2 results, you know, that we had. It is going to take time, but these lads are, you know, they're probably lacking a bit of experience just at the minute, you know. But like to go out to, you know, they were 10-1 up against Meath at half time. We scored 5 points in the second half. Meath scored a goal and 5 in the second half. So they only outscored us by a goal in the second half. But, you know, it was a fantastic win. Mackey, McKeever, you know, they ran all over the pitch. You know, they were everywhere. And David Givney, who deserves a special mention, had a man-of-the-match performance against Meath. The week previous, on the Saturday, he won a Sigerson medal with DIT. On the Sunday, the following day, he won a Railway Cup medal with Ulster. And then the following Saturday, and again another man-of-the-match performance. And then the following Saturday, he goes out down to Navan and puts in another incredible display. 3 games in a row in a week, and 3 man-of-the-match performances. He was, you know, he was absolutely impeccable. You know, he's a great footballer, and you know, he's going to be a star.
He's got the hunger for it now.
Yeah, well, hopefully,
winning and
that's it.
Pushing the team forward.
Absolutely, yeah. So the following week.
Oh right,
yes.
So we were on our second away game, and that was to Sligo.
That's right, yes.
And I suppose manager Terry Hyland even admitted himself that the overperformance of that game was a little substandard. What did you think?
Well, that's it. You know, we were after coming off the back of 2 fantastic wins against Monaghan and Meath, and 2 local derbies, and not only that, but two teams that had come down from Division 2 this year, from last year. You know, we've been in Division 3 for the last 6 years or so, and Meath and Monaghan have been above us. So for them to come down, and for the 2 games, for Cavan to beat Monaghan and then beat Meath, was fantastic. So we went into the Sligo game. I'd say we probably came in a little bit complacent.
Yeah.
Sligo hadn't been doing too well up until then, and I think that maybe, you know, we were a bit complacent going down, thinking that we were just going to walk over
I suppose
Sligo.
After their previous 2 wins, I suppose
Exactly.
they had that sense of.
You know, so
A lot of people may think that Sligo maybe are a weaker team, but not necessarily.
Yeah, no, not necessarily. Like, they're not one of the top teams, but they did win a Connacht title only a couple of years ago. You know, so
they're not a poor side. Then,
yeah, they're not a poor side at the same time. You know, in fairness, Sligo will be the most disappointed with that result, because in fairness, they were 5 points up with 5 minutes to go. And
Cavan just seemed to crawl their way back.
Yeah,
each
we crawled our
time,
way back into it. Barry Riley scored 2 frees, and then Eugene Keaton got a goal with the last kick of the game to earn us a draw. Barry Riley and Eugene Keaton actually came on and did very well. Barry Riley scored 4 points when he came on, and it was him who put the long ball in to the square for Eugene to come up and
he set it up
salvage the point for Cavan that day.
I suppose he had to fight hard, you know, to get back into the game in both halves. So even when we look at the first half and look at the second half,
that's it. Like if you look at half time, Cavan were losing by 2 points. It was 1-5 to 6 points at half time in favour of Sligo, and then straight away after half time, again another massively influential player for Cavan, Grode McKieran and GMAC. He popped up with 2 points to level the game, and then the second goal for Sligo arrived after Alan O'Mara was after saving the ball, but it rebounded out to Stephen Gilmartin, and he stuck the ball in the net, and that was the impetus for Sligo to push on and look for the win. But luckily enough, we came back. Alan O'Mara actually suffered a bad injury.
And as a result of that, so he's out. We had him missing him for the Fermanagh game.
Yeah, he suffered a bad injury and was replaced by James Riley. James Riley, you know, he's a fantastic footballer. He's a fantastic goalkeeper, and he's been nominated for All-Star as well. You know, so he's not a bad replacement to have coming in for Alan O'Mara. But so we crawled our way back in. We earned a point, you know, which was great to see, which put us in a great position going into the next game. Cavan.
So, I suppose overall it was a difficult match for Cavan, and there was mistakes I suppose that could have cost them the game. Really,
exactly.
They're very lucky to.
Exactly.
I suppose they were probably they should have really been celebrating. They were happy to get a draw in the end.
That's it. They were very happy to get a draw and to have that fighting quality where you look like you're dead and married, 5 minutes to go, 5 points down, and to get the point out of that game, it would have felt like a win. It really would have felt like a win for Cavan, and it would have felt like a loss for Sligo, because Sligo in the end threw it away, 5 points up, 5 minutes to go. You know, you would have thought you were home and hosed, but luckily enough, we got back into it and got a point out of it, and that, you know, put us in a great position going into the next game.
Brilliant. So the one we were looking forward to, Cavan versus Fermanagh, and you did say before, you know, Fermanagh were really looking like the team to beat.
They were. After a couple of results, they were top of the table, and everybody was chasing them. And then there was a slight bit of a turnaround, and I think Monaghan bet for Fermanagh before we meet them. And,
so that kind of
so
went in our favour.
It went in our favour. So what it meant was that the Cavan Fermanagh game, whoever won that game was going to go into second place in the league. Yeah.
So that was the Fermanagh game, which was last
Saturday.
Last Saturday in Breffni. So we were back,
Correct.
You know, at our home game, and of course we had injury ruled out Alan O'Mara and Mark McKeever. We've been missing him also.
Yeah, Mark is away. I think he's in America.
Yeah,
he's away for a couple of weeks. So he is, but a huge loss.
Yeah, huge
absolutely
loss.
Huge. You know.
Do you think that, you know, missing Alan and missing Mark McKeever, do you think that could have maybe affected our?
Oh, absolutely, it would.
Result?
Yeah, if you're like a player of Mark McKeever's quality is hard to replace.
Yeah.
You know, on any team, and that's not taken away from any of the boys that come in, because the lads that come in all do their job. But Mark is one of our more experienced players on the Cavan team now at the minute. You know, with all the transition that the Cavan team is going through, Mark has been there. You know. Mark is there 7 or 8 years now at this stage,
so,
you know, so he'd have a right bit of experience. I mean, compared, so you need someone like that in your team. Going into to that game as well, Alan O'Mara, as I said, was injured, but you know, we were playing for Man in our own home backyard, as they say.
Yeah.
You know, we were playing them in our backyard. We were playing on our pitch. You know, it should have been a game where, you know, Cavan came out on top. But it didn't turn out that way. It turned out Fermanagh 1-12, Cavan 1-10. It was a huge game, absolutely huge game for both sides, for both of them looking for promotion. So whoever won that, as I said, was going into second place. One of the key points in this game, Damien Riley from Belturbet was sent off after 7 minutes for an altercation off the ball. Apparently he was kicked or something, and he struck back at the player and in front of the referee and was sent off. Now, the thing about Damien was playing midfield. I don't know why Damien was playing midfield, but we had Eugene Keaton and Tomas Corr sitting on the bench, two big well-able, strong men, and I'd be questioning why we played Damien Riley in midfield anyway. You know, I thought it was a strange decision, and it kind of backfired when he got sent off. But in fairness, the first half, Cavan were outstanding. I couldn't believe.
So even after losing Damien,
we were down to 14 men, and we played all the best football in the first half. Now we still came out 8 points to 7 down at half time, but our tackling was fantastic, and our composure on the ball from our half back line to our half forward line was brilliant. They got back in numbers, and when they got back and when they got hands on, Cian Mackey in particular was immense. He was chasing back everyone, and every time that somebody approached him, he went to him, got hands on, tackled the ball, tackled the man, and you know, we made Fermanagh make mistakes.
Yeah.
We turned over the ball on numerous occasions, and it was great to see you know, the intensity that the Cavan players brought to it. And when good ball was put into the forward line, into Martin Dunn, who ended up playing on his own in the full forward line, you know, he did well. He kicked a great score off his left foot. There was 2 guys marking him, and he still got away and stuck the ball over. But sometimes as well, we let Fermanagh, like the 7 scores that we got, we had to work for.
Yeah.
The 8 scores that Fermanagh got, sometimes I think we were tired and we just let them run, and then they had a man extra, so they picked off some very easy scores in the end to go 8 points to 7 up at half time. In the second half, it was nip and tuck. It was, you know, it was point for point and whatever in the second half until Fermanagh's penalty arrived, and Daniel Kill scored to put 4 points between the sides with 5 minutes left. You know, it was a major blow as well to Cavan, that goal going in. James Riley, apparently, I didn't get to see the incident, but James Riley, I think, was the man who gave the penalty away. And, you know, we were down to 4 points down with 5 minutes to go. Again, it was going to be tough. It wasn't going to be like the week beforehand against Sligo. In the last few minutes, Fermanagh had a couple of men sent off. Barry Owens sent off, a great footballer, Barry Owens, again, another all-star. And then we got a penalty. Martin Dunn scored the penalty to leave 2 points between the sides. But unfortunately, it was too little, too late.
Yeah, exactly.
You
so,
know.
I mean, they have supposed to have a bit more conviction earlier on in the game, so to kind of be domineer really at the start, so they're not kind of having to kind of chase their way back. But that's great. Well, actually, we're going to go to an interview with Terry Hyland, and that was after the Fermanagh game last Saturday. So check this out.
Well, as always, the sending off probably was the big factor in it. And you consider that we probably played 65 minutes with a man short, so you know, that was always going to tell. In fairness, the lads fought hard and they worked hard and they never give up. And you know, we still had the last couple of attacks. What can you say? You know, I mean, we probably made too many errors as well, unforced errors. We probably were getting panicky when we were shooting. We had 3 or 4 shots in the second half. We probably weren't on and we went for it, you know.
And you're not one usually to criticise referees, Terry, but you couldn't have been impressed with that performance there.
Well, again, as I said, I don't like criticising referees. I have a hard job to do, but you know what I mean. It was a strange case that, I didn't see really what happened to him. But anyway, he got a red card, and his opposing man gets a yellow card. So I don't know what happened in that incident, how one could justify the other. But they must have picked up 8, 9, 10 yellow cards, and okay, he sent them off in the last couple of minutes of the game. But that's it. The game was gone from us, you know.
Yeah, I suppose this leaves Cavan back now that they need to be looking over their shoulder again.
Well, I suppose you could look at it that way. You know, I mean, we still have 2 more games to play, and I mean, we'll be going out to win or 2 games and see where it falls from there.
Okay, and for the trip to Wicklow now, just a matter of getting the lads tuned back in for that.
Yeah, well, I don't think it'll be a big job to get them tuned in fairness. I mean, anybody looking on at that, you can see there's a lot of fight and a lot of heart in them. They didn't give up, you know. I mean, there were times when it looked as if it was gone from them, and you know, the amount of times they were hauled to ground in professional fouls and they didn't retaliate was a credit to them.
Yeah, and did Mossy Corp pick up an injury, or was that just a selection?
Mossy had been flued all week, in fairness. He was off work all week and flu, so we rested him because we didn't think there'd be 70 minutes of football in him.
Yeah, and Cavan seemed to struggle in midfield, which is an area that we do well, and I suppose that's not good.
Well, look, Fermanagh played that packed defence. I mean, they play probably on kick-outs, probably maybe even 8 players, and they try to work on breaks and they get the ball to the ground. You know, and like on conditions like tonight, when you can have a slippy wet ball, that was always going to suit that type of a tactic. In saying that, I think that, you know, probably on their kick-outs we probably won more than, and you know, so but we had enough chances and we had enough attacks in one sense to win the game, you know.
Yeah. So the message to the supporters is a long way to go yet.
Well, this is a young team and they're starting out. I don't think they can question their fighting and battling qualities. And I mean, okay, we have a lot of things to tweak, as in maybe tactics and shot options and that type of stuff. But that'll come with time.
Okay, so we're back here in the studio where I am joined by Micky Brennan, and we're just discussing the county football and what's been happening. So, so like, you know, Terry Hallin, again, I suppose he's very positive about this team.
Yeah, well, he has to be. Every manager has to be positive about his team, in fairness. Like, you know, you can't go out and slate your own team. It wouldn't be a good idea. But no, he should be very positive about the team, because they're very good. They're young, you know, like, we've got probably two of the best midfielders in Ulster, if not in the country, you know, Gerard McKiernan and David Givney, and they're going to mature into two fantastic footballers. You know, and then we have, our defence has not been bad this year. You know, for a team that leaked goals over the last 3 or 4 years, Cavan's problem was leaking goals. You know, we've tightened up on that. We're not letting in as many scores as we have been before. You know, they're starting to get a system and play into the system. So, you know, and if you've got Mark McKeever back, you've got Cian Mackey as well, and they're working back, defending, tackling, and then getting forward. You've got the likes of Martin Dunn there, Barry Riley, and, you know, Eugene Keaton, who, you know, is a fantastic talent as well. He's only a sub at the minute in that team, you know, so he's going to have to work hard to get
So he really has a lot of great players to choose from. So it's not just the team he's putting out there, but even there's a lot of boys on the bench who really, you know, know, he's got a lot of people.
Yeah, he does. He's got strength and depth, and it's going to take. It is like this year we could get a good run. You know, we've Armagh in the first round of the championship. You know, our league is not over yet either. Like, I'll come to that in a minute.
Yeah.
There's 2 rounds of the league left, and we could still.
As it stands, where are we at then with the league?
Okay, with the league at the minute, Monaghan are on top with 8 points. Fermanagh are in second with 7 points. Meath are in third with 6 points, and Cavan are in fourth with 5 points. Then Roscommon are on 5 points as well. Antrim are on 4, Sligo are on 3, and Wicklow are on 2. So it's very, very tight. You know, we're 2 wins away from promotion,
right,
or we're 2 losses away from relegation.
Yeah,
that's how close it is. Now, that if we had beaten Fermanagh, we'd be in second place on 7 points, and you know, we'd be almost certain of getting promoted, you know. But we've left pressure. There is pressure on us now. We've left probably a little bit too much pressure on ourselves to get promoted.
There's a lot of hard work to do really in the next game. So that brings us probably to when the next game.
Yeah, the March the 24th is the next round. It's the second last round of the league. You've got Antrim playing Meath. So Antrim are on 4 points. Again, it's not. There is a chance that like Antrim could get a result there. Meath are playing in Casement Park. Antrim need the win to stay away from relegation as well. Yeah. You know, so it is going to be tight. Fermanagh are playing Sligo. Now, Fermanagh are playing Sligo in Brewster Park. They're at home, so you'd be looking at a Fermanagh win there. So Wicklow are playing Cavan. Now, Cavan are going to Aughrim to play Wicklow. I've spoken about Aughrim before. It's not a nice place to go. It's a beautiful scenic area, and during the summer it's fantastic. But to go and play football in it, you know, it's a different story, as you well know. It's a devil's cauldron, that's for sure. And then Roscommon are playing Monaghan. I don't see Roscommon doing any of us a favour there. I can see Monaghan coming out victorious. The last day, 7th of April, will be a big day. All the games are taking place at 3 p.m. Cavan have Roscommon in Breffni Park. Meath have Fermanagh, and that's in Navan. So you know, that could be a huge game there. Sligo are playing Wicklow, and Monaghan are playing Antrim. By the looks of things, with the games that are left, Monaghan are nearly, you know, they're nearly guaranteed promotion, and it's going to be between Cavan, Meath and Fermanagh for second place. And you know, the only 2 that have changed there are Fermanagh and Monaghan from the first day. I actually thought that Fermanagh would be the team to beat.
You did, last time we spoke, I remember.
And it looks like Monaghan and Fermanagh have just swapped places. It's between Fermanagh, Meath and Cavan for second, I think.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
It can be done. It can be done, and if one result goes right for us, you know, it could be it.
Can't wait. Well, hopefully when we have you back in again, Micky, that we'll have some good news, and that Cavan have stayed where we want them to.
or
be
promoted.
Well, look, thanks again, Mickey, for joining us again, and you'll be back with us in another few weeks for some more updates.
No problem
on the
at
sport.
all.
Thank you very much, and thanks again to Micky Brennan, our sports analyst here in All About Sport. So that's it from All About Sport for this week. Thank you very much for tuning in wherever you are around the world, and I'll be back again at the same time next week. Goodbye.